Okay, here I am for this next four of the June reading. So, I'm gonna give a little bit of a grace period for the pigeons and everybody else to come in. But anywho, so till then, I'm gonna give every little minor thing set up. And so that way everybody knows if you're fresh meat. No, not like that. Like saying like, oh, I'm fresh off the butcher's blade. No, more like if you knew with this. So the way that my readings ideally work is that you would be primarily trying to follow your ascendant, rising, or lugna sign. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know your exact time of birth, no biggie, then instead use your moon sign. If you don't know what in the heck I'm talking about with the moon sign ascendant, and all you know is that you're Scorpio sun, Libra sun, Virgo sun, or even Leo sun, if that's all you know is that your sign is that, that's fine too. Cross watching. If you're cross watching, nothing wrong with it. I'm guilty of it too, but if it can't be helped, then avoid it. Last night I kind of followed a bit of a rating structure, meaning that everybody got the same kind of spread at the same time. Hello, Kayla and Michael. And so that way any other fresh meat people that do appear magically. Whenever I'm now trying to whenever I'm in the quote unquote zone, that's the best way I can put it. I'm gonna be kind of not looking at the chat until I'm out of the zone, if you know what I mean. Helps me not to get distracted. So, other than that, let's see. Anything else that I have to say? Well, I mean, after that little dimwit that came in yesterday was like, and Lord Jesus said that thou shalt not throw pieces of cardstock with pictures at it and say woozy woo things. No. Kind of a bit of a fair warning with that. Boy, I know this is probably, being so passive aggressive and totally not having shots fired, but if you don't want to become the, put on a pedestal and pretty much have everybody in the room be like, wow, look at this dimwit. And yeah, you become the joke of the day or joke of the night. Yeah, if you don't want to be looked at like, well, okay, everybody, get your rotten tomatoes and aim for the throat. Knock his larynx out. Yeah, don't just come in here and be like, well, you can't do this, or just other BS shenanigans or whatever. Because you'll be made the butt of the joke for the night. So anyway, other than that, I will be just giving it, say, another minute or two. And forgot one more thing. That way I'm kind of visible. When I finish Aries, yes. And then after I'm done with Aries, which would be probably tomorrow night, then yeah. And I'm still thinking about it. I'm also gonna put a poll in I might as well just floating around the whole time. Crap. Come here, you blinky flashy woozy woo keyboard, you. Okay, here we go. So let me go. Okay, how do I do this thing? Go like that? No. I'm just in really great. Shuffle like a he who found falling out of the sky. Hold on! Wait a minute! If you don't listen to me, you're going to hell. Well, we kind of were already in hell, and then you showed up, and now we're in extreme purgatory. Thanks a lot. You just ruined everything, dude. Damn, he who found. I guess I'll just choose. Let's see here. I'll just go with collective reading theme. I'm just gonna put it there. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try and think of 3, and then I'm gonna put 1 as in like other. That's a lovely option to have. Whoops, I forgot. Oh, how? Oh, that's not. That's bad. How could I forget the D in reading? Come on, kid. That's like one of the things you have your sights on sometimes. Well, realities here, kind of. Let's see. Um, okay, let's see. There's that one. That is horrible English. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Trying to think here. Oh, that's actually fit. There you go. That'll work. Okay. So I'll put this in there. That should do it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that playing the whole time. So whenever anybody deems fit, just choose. Sorry, once in a while, people don't know how to use their inside voice. But anyway, so choose your. Do we have to yell? Please stop. Really? Whatever. Never mind. I'm gonna just completely ignore it. And yeah. But anyway. So anyway, what do we have to freaking yell? You're right next to each other. Use your inside voices, please. It's not that difficult. I'm getting tired of telling it over and over again. Anyway, gonna be starting with Scorpio, and whichever one you feel like used, whichever theme you want me to use, just choose it. And if you choose other, don't just hit other and not comment anything, because it's just like, okay, well then that's just a waste. Thank you. Okay, so first up, Scorpio. The sign that actually, I don't know about all of you, but I think people that are like, oh, Scorpio, oh my god, I can't handle them. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Cupcake. You're just probably just too much of a wuss. It's like you can't handle the penetration. What? It's funny. Don't look at me like that. Well, hey, unlike you, I could probably handle it. Actually, no, I can. What did I just say? Whatever, whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. So Scorpio. I just love when people don't know how to listen. Especially when you tell them I'm going to be going live, so don't be loud. Goes out the window. Yep, I know, Kayla. Whatever. It could be worse. At least there's no visual assistance with it. Oh god, really? So, anyway. So for Scorpio, you'll be having the do we have you know what, I'm about to go over there and scream bloody murder. Really? Okay then. Anyway. Don't care. But the deck is the Dark Grimoire Tarot. Or Tarot de what was it again? Oh yeah, Tarot, Dark Grimoire Tarot. But anyway, so Scorpio, let's see what comes out. Instead of doing the structure, I'm just gonna go willy-nilly with it. Whatever comes out, take it, enjoy it. If you don't like it, well, you probably didn't catch it right. Oh well, it happens. So anyway, how do you want me to throw for Scorpio? How dark or how overkill in the penetration are we going? Hopefully we're not going all the way to the pits of, the, the zone, if you catch my drift. Well, piss and sticker. Anyway, so let's see here. Oh, okay. Which way? That one? Are you okay if you insist? It's like somebody is going to be getting the. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go. Current standing. Overall, we have you as he who does not look like he's from Agrabah, and he's a drinker. King of Solo Cups. So we have definitely not an Adam looking guy. Not like, Aladdin. Like Agrabah. Or Agrabah, whatever the heck it is. And he looks pretty calm. He has everything in the water. He has no feet. And he's sitting above in a pool in a fountain. Can't we stop, please? Jesus Christ, they're so annoying. Anyway, so this depiction, currently you might be not really, like currently Scorpio, you may be in a position where you're not really trusting the feels and you're kind of being more in solitude and doing more self-reflecting and a bit more in control of the feels and the emotions, currently at least. You may be very restrictive to handing out your cup and let alone taking other people's sips out of their cup, meaning that you may not be emotionally investing all woozy wooey, and you may be a little bit more discerning with your indulgence. I mean, not indulgence. Well, okay, you can kind of indulge because you can get drunk off it. You might be a bit more careful when indulging in other people's woozy feelings and lovey emotions and whatever. Kind of like having emotional control and being able to actually utilize it correctly. What is standing in front of you and looking at you? Encountering the Eight of Twigs. This depiction we have Hanky, Panky, and Spanky having done some kind of magical woozy woo thing, and now they have a book being possessed. So you probably are encountering a situation where you probably were involved with some other two individuals that are trying to have some kind of learning that you guys all have earned, or pretty much taking something that has been manuscripted and actually kind of exceeding its potential. Or shut the fuck up. Or you possibly Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, never. Mm, don't care what he's done. Okay. Or you might have encountered a situation where whenever you have been trying to actually work alongside two other people to fully understand something, they may actually be a part of it getting out of control. And you may have to be on the down low with it because, as you can see, the book's gone mad. And it looks like none of the people in the depiction, not even you, since the book has gone mad, the power within that you guys have invested in or are now encountering may not be easily controlled. Or something that you have actually put a lot of zest in may be going mad, meaning that it's all over the place. And it's just like Alice in Wonderland's Mad Watch. Mad Watch! Mad Watch! There's only one way to stop a Mad Watch. Hit it with a hammer. What caused this? Two of Twigs. We have somebody being shady. We have somebody trying to do something behind somebody's back. Two of Twigs. We got Hanky and Panky. One's trying to bribe the other, and one's contemplating it. Hello, definitely not Judas. So most definitely somebody might have been plotting something and trying to strategize a downfall of some kind towards you. Or you actually might be plotting something to make somebody land face first for doing something wrong with you. And because since there are three heads at the bottom of this two of wands, you probably this is probably not your first time trying to get somebody have their head removed. Metaphorically, not literally. Keep your weave on. Behind you, backing you up, is the Five of Solo Cups. Well, what's behind you is saying goodbye to something that had to be let go of, and a situation where it must have been very difficult to let go of something, but probably you finally letting go of this makes you the king of solo cups and actually getting that emotional and kind of aquatic, well, not really, well, you know what I mean by aquatic, the emotional spiritual maturity that you have been needing, or the control of it. You're letting go of it finally has given you that emotional maturity and being able to be mm, one part of you, mainly the emotional, has not really fully let go of it, but the mental and the physical has. So make sure you tune into that because possibly that could be why there's some kind of hesitation in being able to be like the Queen of Cups instead of the King, because the Queen beats the King, at least in the cup world, because you have wetness and wetness. But when you add wet and more wet, you get extra wet. Instead of flaming and then wet, you get steam. So being more in touch with the unconditional love and giving it out to its purest, maybe once you have probably gone back to the Queen instead of being a little bit more restrictive with it, that may be more of a help. Being able to finally let go of it once and for all. Best thing to happen that's on your head. We have these. Oh, cheesy. We have the Six of Solo Cups now. This depiction, we have a lady looking out into the distance, looking like there's a big tornado storm out in the distance. And she's probably thinking, I am so glad I'm not getting blown in that. Like, I'm happy I didn't choose to live over there because, yeah, I would have been blown out of there. And it would have, sucked pretty bad. And trust me, I know how bad it is when it blows too hard. The best case scenario is that you may actually be able to appreciate the lesson, but that's it. Because again, it seems like the emotional maturity is still being restricted but because of the situation and encountering other people, especially if they were plotting something or if you're feeling that, if anything, you won't be as emotionally attached to it again or at all. But at the very least, you'll be able to understand the lesson, and you might be nostalgic at least of the positive things instead of being more bitter about it. I almost said more better about it. Like I don't even know how I could be better about you know two dimwits trying to plan your downfall. It's kind of like they sabotaged the whole thing that you all three were working on in a way. What's coming for your face? Like coming right to the head. We have which talk about wet and burning. Coming right through your face. We have my little pony with a horn and a knight that wants to take you out drunk and drinking. Knight of Solo Cups. So, coming for your face is somebody who thinks he's able to ride something that has a horn on its head. Oh, he must think he's lucky riding a horny horse. Ha ha ha. No. The person coming towards you may be trying to be all fantasy woozy and trying to be a little bit romantic and a little bit too wet about it. Don't let him over woozy woo you. In fact, this actually could be, heck, maybe it might be you being able to go from the king and actually letting loose a little, metaphorically, and being able to, yeah, let yourself go a little bit more and be a little bit more romantic and more bit more movable, if that makes sense. Because you have wet and windy with that Knight of Solo Cups. And because it also looks like a samurai too, it actually may show that you still keep the emotional maturity and you don't use it in a painful way. Okay, the last three I'm going to pull for things to keep in mind for June. Three things. First one, Ace of Blades. Make sure you keep full clarity on what you're doing and do not throw away anything that you don't understand. Instead, spend some more time understanding it more. Explore a thought, get the full clarity. Don't just fling it because I don't get it. Second thing, Seven of Twigs. Okay, this depiction we have a definitely not Indiana Jones guy, totally not Jones guy, holding a. Looks like he's holding Syria in front of all these monsters, and all the monsters are like, except one of them. All but one are like, oh God, we're being blinded. Except that guy. He's like, look what I found. I'm going to grab this thing. No, don't grab it. It's going to burn you. I don't care, Harold. I'm grabbing it. So, whatever you find and whatever you use to protect yourself for this month or whatever is you're going to use to ensure that your well-being is put first, make sure you are not afraid to flaunt it, meaning that, hey, don't mess with me. I got a lot of self-confidence and a lot of ways to just overkill pierce you. Trust me. If you think you're worth anything, Cupcake, trust me. I could, pretty much poke a hole through you all the way through around the world and again, probably about 6 times around the world right through your head. So don't. Like, don't be afraid to actually take your self-esteem or even heck the egotistical side. But like, you see this? Oh, it burns, flame to death. Don't be afraid to pretty much put your self-esteem at the highest point, and then just make it into a flail or something and hit people with it, metaphorically, not literally. Know your worth. Flaunt it. If somebody doesn't like it, hit them in the face with it. And tell them, don't be hating because I know my worth and you don't. I'd be jealous too if I was like you. Third last thing. The Queen, the Empress, the one and only Empress. This depiction we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right there in the back. 10. Right here we have a total of 10 figures, all looking at the Queen, all looking at her. So don't forget, Scorpio. Don't forget your ego status. Don't forget your royal status. And don't you ever expect anybody that does not treat you like how everybody in this card is treating her. Especially the two in the front. There's one that's bowing his head, and there's another one that's like, "Please, my empress, would you please grant me my wish?" Depends. Have you taken out my trash, hon? No. Then no. Until you take out my trash, you ain't getting nothing, kid. What about me? Please? No. But why? You're a peasant. You want me to bless you? You better be making sure you're kind of a little bit more of status. Or do something for me. Then I'll grant you a wish. Make sure you are revered in that position this month and flaunted. Especially having this with the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Use this Empress standing of this month for June. Use that as your Seven of Wands. Be like, hey, don't mess with me. Do you know who I am? Yes, I'm the queen. You know what happens when you tell the queen no, right? I hope so, because if not, well, yeah, you'll probably just be aware that, oh, I don't have my body anymore. I'm dead. Because off with your head. So make sure you know your worth this month. And actually, the Empress also best supports the King of Cups, along with the ability to become more connected to the feminine energy and being more open and more, just a bit more on the feminine, like actually giving instead of the King of Cups being like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I should give you this cup of my, of my secret juice sauce or my favorite drink. I don't trust you. But other than that, yeah, give me one more then. Fine. Other than that, yeah, but don't be afraid to table flip if you have to table flip. Ten of Blades. Yep, overkilling by stepping on somebody's home. Don't be afraid to actually go, to somebody's house or somebody's sense of security and be like, "Listen, kid, you mess with me, you're not going to have the roof over your head." So there goes your sense of security and safety. Scorpio does have that ability to be like, "Oh, you have a wall, huh? What wall?" Yeah, so you have the ability to go like overkill and hit where it'll stun them. That's what I got for Scorpio. Next. Okay, where's my clicker? There it is. What? What? No. Sorry. Need a moment. Oh God, not why? Why are you blowing my phone up? What are you doing? Nothing great. I got the hiccups. Thanks, man. Oh, threw off my groove. I'm sorry you threw. Sorry. You're saying what's new? I forgot. Okay, next. Next up, we have the object of the zodiac of the signs. It's true as an object. It just sits there like sucks to not be able to move, and I'm an inanimate object. But really, it's actually represented by a, like a figure holding the scales over the shoulder, yeah, carrying it around to make sure everything's balanced. Libra, okay, just like before. Gonna just go with what comes to mind, how to throw them. If you don't like it, well, piss and lick it because this is my sun sign, so deal with it. So let's see what comes out for Libra. Some people say it's balanced. Not really. It's completely unbalanced. How can it be unbalanced? Well, have you ever seen something perfectly balanced, split right down the middle to the smallest grain of sand? No, nothing's ever perfectly balanced. So there's always a lot of negotiation. But anyway, let's go with... That'll work. Okay, fine. Good. Okay, we'll do that thing. We'll do... Hang on, let me double check just to see. Forgot. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to be pulling four, like pretty much 3 cards with four different sets. So it's pretty much 3 cards for each Sunday of this month of June. So here to go. First sun. Okay. The first one we got a dim-witted clown on a unicycle with 2 solo coins. We have 4 of solo cups, and then we have a let go 9 of cups. Well, isn't that just odd? Okay. Here's the first sun. Sun number 2, like Sunday, not the second, like child. Like, oh please no, I don't need one of those just yet. Second Sunday, the 12th. First, 3 of twigs. Then temperance. Oh, that card's not perfectly cut. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. It's not cut down properly. Like, it's not trimmed right. Oh god, that's gonna bug me. Oh, why? And oh, La Moon. Okay, here's the second one. Next one. Okay, here to go. The third one for the 19th, the week of. First, blood. 9 of sharp pointy things. Page of pennies. And the 2 of twigs. Okay, the last one. Here we go. First pull for the last one of 26. First, 4 twigs. She who's most high, high priestess, and 10 of pennies. Okay, so here to go. You imbalanced thing, you. And so what if I'm talking to myself? Who cares? What? Libra's my sign, so deal with it. Okay, firstly, starting the 5th, the week next week on starting Sunday. Make sure that you don't have some twat head thinking that, oh, look at this. Oh, you can get it. Oh, look at that. You missed it. So unbalanced. Don't let anybody tease you with some kind of manifestation of a want that you have, and they have it, and they said they would give it to you. Don't let them do that. Don't let them make a joke out of you trying to play like a game like that. And make sure you don't have any feelings of resentment towards them at all. And kind of actually be all like, I'm just going to disengage and be like, meh with you. Because if you do that and you come through it that week, bada boop, bada booski. There's wish fulfillment and wish bestowment. But again, make sure in the first week, which is next week, make sure you're just like, oh, look at that. He actually gave it to me. I'm not impressed. Because her eyes are closed and she's like, oh, yay. Keep it veiled. Then the next week, starting on the 12th, you actually may feel like, oh, there has to be more than this. I can see it. I know it's out there. There has to be more than this. So, you actually may take what you were finally given and actually synthesize it with something else that you already have, or mix the two together, or even have somebody who has Sagittarius placements assist you with it. And what you guys actually mix together, or what you create together, is a much more potent ability to understand the intuitive side, or at the very least, being able to see without your eyes so much better than you already were seeing with. Meaning your intuitive ability gets enhanced and, like, let's say, just skips about 10 levels, the best to put it. And since there's a full moon on this card and a dark figure, consider also doing a lot more time self-reflection for yourself and actually not being afraid to be going into water that's dark. Don't know why I had to say it that way, but just go with it. Starting it on the 19th with your new with your new this gonna sound so weird. With the new moon you have made, you might be feeling like, oh, look at me. I got my intuitive side and it's ready to go poking things. Just make sure you know how to use that intuitive side and not brandish it with a weapon, because you might, behead someone by mistake and a bit too fast with it. But acting swiftly, you'll actually be able to then actually maybe even have a student and actually start the foundation, actually making some kind of revenue source out of it, teaching people how to use their intuitive side much more substantially, and actually start getting a wage from it. But then you're probably stuck at a choice. Do I not charge or do I do charge? You have to make that choice. And whatever choice you go with, it's the right one. Don't question yourself, whichever route you go with. And also, if there's a bird, depending on which way it flies, if it flies to your left, go with that one. If it flies to your right, go with that one. Why is that? I don't know. Just go with it. Then the last week. Well, whichever route you chose, you're going to be celebrating about it. And especially with the two love doves. You actually might have some kind of overly romantic woozy woo event happen. If it happens, yeah. If it doesn't, well, meh with it. Celebrate. Celebrate in the definitely not fire pit. And actually, again, the intuitive side comes through again, and you actually may be again advising people and still teaching people how to use their intuitive side and become kind of like an advisor. But at the end of it all, Ten of Pentacles, don't be afraid to teach people how to use their intuitive side or any kind of psychic ability. If it can help you be sustained and secure, there's nothing wrong with making a living out of it. If anybody else tells you otherwise, they can piss it, lick it, stick it, and go away and stay away, because no, off with you. Besides, since there's also the world in the background, you actually have immense potential to be well known throughout the world if you decide to teach people about the intuitive skills. Give me one more. Give me one more for beware of, or be completely aware of the Hong Kong Fooey Chariot. Whichever route you go with, you are in full control and full speed ahead. If something gets in the way, well, sucks to be it, because you're going to squish it. You have the seal of approval, and feel free to go as fast as you want. Just know that not every place is suggested to always be an expressway. So go at your own pace and go get him, Timmy. Bonus points if you do a few donuts before you take off. So yes, teach people the intuitive skills you're going to be learning this month, because you can gain substantially from it. Next, Virgo. You'll be getting the Universal Celtic Tarot. So okay, here to go. Before I start, I have to say I love the backing of this deck. It's nice and it's like that's the color green that I like, which I don't really like the color green that much. I'm kind of meh with it. Okay, here to go. So, how in the heck am I going to throw for Virgo? Tell me, intuitive side. What in the world? How should I throw these cardstocks then? Okay, fine. I'll just throw them randomly then. First one. Okay, I don't know how to start with that, but we'll go with it. Okay. First and foremost, Virgo. First thing that comes out of this is the lovers. What kind of lovers is this? Well, there's Kakulin, there's one wife, and then there's the elf in red. Uh-oh. So, looks like there's a choice to be made. Do we go with the wife that has a knife in her hand, ready to go for stabby McStabby? Or do we go with the lady in red? Like, oh snap, sucks to be this guy. Let's see then. If you were to go with option one, because that's what I'm getting. Being caught in the middle between one way and another way. Because let's say we go with the wife way, and we'll go, which is the lady in white, with the knife. If you go that route, let's see, give me three. You go with the lady in white. You get Seven of Pentacles. Oh, that depiction's cute. Seven of Pentacles with She Who's Most High and whoa, and She Who's Not Having It. Just kidding. The Queen of Swords, my absolute favorite depiction of the Queen of Swords ever. This is a good one. Don't think that, oh God, don't tell me. I'm going to get sassy with someone. Not this one. Not that Queen of Sass. Actually, she's not even sassy at all. Bet you didn't expect that, did you? Okay, what happens if we go with the elf in red? Oh, that sounds like, have you seen elf on red? Nope, not going that way. Here we go with the red elf. First, we have Knight of Blades. Ace of Solo Cups. And He Who's Hung Most. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, here we go. So, let's start with the elf one first. If you happen to go with one of the if you go with one option, the elf one, the one that's a little bit too good to be true and probably a little bit risky, you may most definitely have to tame something pretty dangerous. You might have to get control of something which can be unpredictably wild and not at all pleased. And it might be a bit difficult getting the control. So, in order for you to get that control, you might have to have a lot of spiritual maturity, and you may have to nourish yourself emotionally and make sure your emotional health is on point to handle taming that wild thing. It may be a bit difficult to actually completely tame it, but once you get the control, you may actually come to realize it may not be as bad. But again, you need to have the emotional health and the emotional foundation strong in order to actually be able to control it, because it could take one wrong move and it can actually cripple your mental and emotional health, so be careful. But as well, with He Who's Hung Most, as all He Who Hungs Most, sometimes might be in a position like, now what am I going to do? How am I going to control this wild moo cow thing when my mental health's not well? Just flip it. Just flip it. Now that you've flipped it, now you can realize, oh, wait a minute. I know a way how to control this thing now without even putting much effort into it. So you might feel like you're stuck, or you may, again, look at a different perspective and you find the back door to controlling this moo cow gone mad. And also, if you have to leave something behind, even if you're trying to control it and you do have a strong emotional mental health, and if it's turning out to not be what it's supposed to be, you can just be like meh with it. Can I hang it loose and let it loose? Let it loose. Okay then. Now, if you go with the other option, the one that probably has history with you, or one that you actually have invested some time in instead of giving up on it and going with the elf in red, you actually you might be thinking that you might be going towards something that's a bit too good to be true, and have an inner child be like, oh, this is nice and sweet. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, there must be some goblins around here. This is too good to be true. Something's not right here. Or something may have given you a sense of nostalgia and woozy-wooed you towards it. And now that you've actually have put in a lot of spiritual work, because that's what the High Priestess is also, and being able to see through everything that is going on, and understanding with this choice, you have the maturity to understand how to best go about it. How do I best go about it? I'm glad you asked. You have the Queen of Sass. This depiction, we have a elf queen in purple sitting on a throne of ice, and her sword is stuck in the ice. And she has a harp in her hand, and she's pulling the strings, making musical notes with it. This depiction of the Queen of Swords is probably, again, like what I said, my favorite one. But why? You're taking wet and windy. You get mist, okay, whatever. But with water and wind, you get ice. What is ice? Frozen water. What happens when you have water or emotions that are frozen? You get devotion, you get commitment, you get reliability with emotions, you get security, you get the emotions that become never changing. Meaning, you actually, the best way to handle going towards another choice is to understand the value of devotion and commitment towards it, and actually using the ability to express the emotional side in a way with music. So use music, sound, to help support you when going with this choice that does involve one option over the other. If one has been a choice that you have been with for a while or have invested in, reestablishing the importance of having commitment and devotion towards it is going to be key in order to ensuring that it stays standing. But if you choose to go with the other route, it is what it is. But if I would have to say between the two, choose the one that the Queen of Swords is with. Because that one's going to teach you the lesson of commitment, devotion, duty, and having the commitment and devotion of the emotional side. Because again, that's water and wind. Even though some people think, oh god, not the Queen of Swords, she's going to cut off my head. Not this one. This one wants to devote to you and commit to you. Now, if it was the other Queen of Swords, like from the Witch's Tarot, that's going like, oh, no. Piss it, kid. Then yeah, that'd be a different Queen of Swords. Not this one. That one's actually a really good Queen of Swords to get. So, Virgo, that was for you. Now, last but not least, we have King Kitty. What? Don't tap on my window, please. At least I thought that's what it sounded like. I heard a tap, but whatever. Go away. Off with you. Last but not least, for Leo, the kitty, we have the Definitely Not Heaven or Hell Tarot. So how are we going to throw cards out for the kitty? The King Kitty or Queen Kitty? Okay, fine. And I know I haven't looked at the chat, and I'm just want to get this over and done with because I have to get up early for work tomorrow. Just splendito. How the heck am I going to throw this one? Okay, here to go then. General standing, how you are in general, currently. We have Five of Twigs, Shani in Leo, pissed, not really happy. Mars in Leo, friendly sign. Currently, you may be under a lot of stress and pressure. You may not be in the best position. And also, Rahu's in this card, symbolically. So currently, you might be in a position like, oh, somebody is questioning my authority. Somebody is thinking that they're going to challenge or question me, the king? No, heck no. So currently, in general, you might be having the urge to just go and be like, listen, kid, you don't know who I am. Sit and listen. There might be some conflict going on in general, and it's bugging you, and you wanted to just quit it. At least on the physical standing, like regarding for the health, wealth, financial, career, security, all that. The earthy thingies. On the physical plane, we have you standing as a King of Solo Cups. This depiction, we have a king wearing, looks like a white hakma. It also has a serpent coiled around his arm and hand, holding a white lotus plant and having a symbol of enlightenment behind his head, which is the sun. This would be Libra and Scorpio. And since I see the snake, I have to call it out. You actually may be pretty content with how you are in the physical, meaning that you have all the things in the material plane that you need and want. You're content. And because I'm saying that, because with the snake being coiled around him and looking at him, I get strong indication of Lord Shiva. Just have to say it. So on the physical, You pretty much are for this month are going to be very content and neutral if something comes, like a lot of things come towards you. But if a lot of things go up, you're like, it is what it is. I'm just blissful and zen on the physical, materialistic level. And same thing with career. You actually might be guiding people on how to do that. The mental, the thoughts in your head. What are you plotting? That stuff. We have Nine of Twigs. Nine of Twigs, and that is going to be double moon in Sagittarius. You may be still standing, and even though you're wounded, might be a little bit distrusting mentally. And because of how your mental health has been damaged, and same with the emotional health, you may be very distrusting and pretty heavily guarded against anything that comes toward you. And also because of the strife, too. I don't blame you. But make sure that you understand that there's nothing wrong with having walls in front of you being like, hey, easy cupcake. You see these walls? Good fences make good neighbors. You're trying to come through, I'll poke you in the eye as you try to climb over it. Like how I lost me eye. So don't be afraid to have your boundaries and limits up, but don't have like so many that they can't even see you. Like, like a hedgehog or what's that called? A porcupine. Don't be afraid to not have all those pointy things up because you don't need to have that many up. That sounds so vulgar, but go with it. Because you don't want to, be a prick. Porcupine prick, get it. Just go with it, laugh at it. You don't want to be like that and not allow anything to come towards you. At least for the love, the woozy woo, emotions, the wet part. Or even spiritual too, because that exists too. What on earth is going to come out for them? I see you, Cupcake. We have the Eight of Blades. You may be emotionally cold and restrictive this month. We have Jupiter in Gemini, but also Mercury in own sign of Gemini too. So definitely for the emotions, be a little bit more casual, but don't let your deeper emotional side come out because somebody might take advantage of it. And don't be afraid to let it just come out a little bit, but have a bit of a grace and poise with it. Don't be all like, this is my heart. No, don't do that. And be more focused on the communication when it comes to emotional matters too. I'm just going to pull that card out because it was in upside down. The Justice card was in upside down, so it's coming out, so deal with it. And that'll be advice piece number 1. Advice piece number 2. We have Justice with a big stick, and a big stick like an Ace of Wands, not a big stick like that, you nasty little... Ace of Twigs with Queen of Pennies. Okay, so the suggested course of action this month, Leo Kitty, is just be aware of this month, whatever you put out comes back to you equally. So, speak soft, carry a big stick, and let the zestfulness come out. And definitely enjoy anything that comes back to you that you have given out. Meaning that energy you put out, enjoy what comes back to you. And do enjoy it because you're supposed to enjoy it. Fine, give me one more. You will do. You. She who's not having it. Don't be afraid to get feisty and sassy about it. Like, listen, kid. Give me what's due to me. I invested. Give me my dividends. Or off with your head. So most definitely, whatever you put out, make it known that, hey, before I give you this, you're going to have to give me what's due back. And make sure you actually put it into writing or some kind of contracts. So that way they can't be pulling a fast one on you. That way, if they do, be like, easy, Cupcake. You see this piece of paper with your name on it, scribbled in at the very bottom with a sign here next to it? Yeah, I want my dividends, please. With interest. So again, don't be afraid to be feisty with the gains that come back to you this month. And whatever you put out will come back. Exactly, and a little bit more. And also Saturn is by technicality going to retrograde. So be prepared, because whatever you do, Shiny will be like, you know what? Yeah, here's your karma gift. Deal with it. You don't like it? Oops, deal with it. You're the idiot who put it out there. That's what I got for you, Leo. That's for me. I am done for tonight. For the rest, for Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, and Aries, tomorrow I'll be doing them once and for all. So, that'll be the end for me tonight. I'm going to take my leave. I'm exhausted. I'm losing my voice. But first. So, toodaloo. See you tomorrow, if you deem fit. And then I'll do everybody else then. Why is this thing not working? Okay, there we go. But before I go, let me see. Only got 2 votes. We got split down the middle. So what is my needing fixing and other, damn it? Yep, he who sung most was the Hangman. So, okay. See you all tomorrow then.